The day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 352. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G Network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated G for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Bertino, and this is my co-host, Dan. We just got done with PAX East 2023, Robinson.
What's going on, man?
Feel good. First show. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I feel exhausted. It's been a long time. It's late right now.
It is Sunday. It is about to be Monday. PAX East show floor is closed.
But this is like a different episode. We're recording in a hotel room, right? Old school style. Right? Mm-hmm. This is old school style.
That's right.
And this is the first time we've recorded in person in like 2.5 years.
It's been a while.
There was
a little thing called the zombie apocalypse that happened.
I know.
Caused some problems, and you certainly felt it on the show floor. Everyone was wearing masks. Everyone was using hand sanitizer, right? Being real safe and all that. Which
the PAX enforcers were very strict about wearing the mask.
Yes.
Even if they saw you with it down a little bit, it's, hey, can you put it up, please? They were really nice about it, though. But they were on point. I will say that.
I felt bad for the cosplayers because everyone had to have a mask, even if their character didn't have a mask. Everyone complied, though. Everyone was super nice about it. So, I mean, it's. All that aside, PAX, I thought this year, now, this is the first year that me and you both are at PAX again,
This is the first time we've been at PAX together since 2020. Right? So, I mean, just off the back, the glaring, like, gaps where Sony would be, where Microsoft would be, right? Where
they were not at this, Team 17 wasn't there, Tiny Build wasn't there.
Square wasn't there.
Square wasn't there, although Final Fantasy 16 was all over the place.
They were there in spirit, but
yes.
They didn't have like a booth.
No.
Right? Because last time we were there, they had Final Fantasy 7 remake actors and everything, like, interviews.
They had panels and all that, like tons of games on display, all their RPGs that were coming out for sure. Yeah. So, PAX was different, but it was still awesome. I guess it was just it was good to get out, right? And I got to meet Patrick for the first time. That's right. Because last year I was at PAX for the day. I went up with our friend Anthony, friend of the show, good friend of ours. We went up to PAX and we got to see Wrestlequest, and we bumped into Patrick Hickey, Patrick Jr., friend of the show. He was on a couple episodes ago, talk about comics, talk about Wrestlequest. They had
Double J, Jeff Jarrett. You didn't know. I'm still mad that you didn't know that was Double J.
Well, I know
JEFFJARRE.
I know who Jeff Jarrett is now. Yes, I know who Jeff Jarrett is.
He was supposed to be there this year. He couldn't make it.
I know. You're looking forward to it too.
I'm really bummed. I really wanted to meet Jeff Jarrett because he was one of my favorite wrestlers in the '90s.
Yeah.
Like him and Shawn Michaels had classic matches. I know. It's not the wrestling podcast. I can go on and on, but I love Jeff Jarrett.
I don't mind talking about it. I'm a little out of my league though. Like I know all the stuff.
But we got a release date for Wrestlequest.
Yes,
coming out in May at some point. I don't know.
Coming out May.
Actual date. They just have like a release window.
Yeah. It's coming out in May for consoles and PCs. Great game. Really good stuff. They had, I guess. What I'm going to do real quick, got a wrestling ring at PAX. Yes. We got to see a full-on wrestling match. First wrestling match I've seen ever.
It was awesome the way they put it off. The ring wasn't like a normal ring, I don't think, because they didn't take a lot of bumps in that ring. And then we got in the ring because we did take pictures, and we sort of did an interview with Patrick that will be on the YouTube channel at some point. We're going to post that. And the ring felt a little stiff than normal, so I don't think they could do bumps in the ring.
To be fair, you're setting up at a convention center, which isn't necessarily meant for live wrestling events, or maybe it is, but like not with 80,000 people kind of running around the convention center and all that. So I think they did pretty good for what, you know.
They did an amazing job, right? Because they instead of doing the bumps, they did a lot of moves, a lot of holds, a lot of twists, a lot of turns, and really played to the crowd. I've been to several wrestling matches, and I thought this was up there. This was like awesome. The way they pulled it off.
It was great. It was great. It was what was it, a 4-way match?
It was
four-way elimination.
It started as a 3-way match, and then it turned into a 4-way
elimination match. Yeah,
for the championship belt, and we got to hold the belt and take pictures.
Oh,
right?
of course.
Yeah. So that was it
was great. I think it definitely one of the first times a wrestling ring has been at a game convention. Right.
That is actually not true.
Well, one of the first times.
No. So I remember watching Electric Playground. They had like WCW versus the NWO. They actually had a big ring at E3, and I think they had a wrestling match with like Booker T and DDP or something like that.
Right.
At the time, so they do happen. They just don't happen as often as maybe
for sure
a lot of wrestling fans like we would like.
Yeah, and it's. I think it's fair to note that there were 2 wrestling RPG games.
Yes.
On the PAX show floor. It's another wrestling game. I mean, it did look kind of cool. I don't want to throw any shade at that. I think Wrestlequest looks better, if you want my actual opinion. There's another wrestling RPG game there.
No, so I would say this. So, Wrestlequest has more of like name brand. Like they have more name recognition because they have the wrestlers, the license for certain wrestlers, old school wrestlers like the Legion of Doom. Jake the
Snake, Andre the Giant, Jeff Jarrett.
It's close. I don't think they, because he's not the Macho Man. Right?
Oh well, some of the
Macho Man.
Yeah,
right?
So they have the likeness of the character, but they may change the name a little bit. Vince may own some of those names.
Yeah, so it's not the actual 1-to-1, but it's close enough where you can, you could tell.
Oh yeah.
Where the other wrestling game, wrestling RPG, I think it was like called Wrestle Story.
That's it. Yeah.
It's more generic wrestlers, right? So I didn't get a chance to play. It was like a line for that.
Yeah.
So I would like to know like story elements of how they put that together because we don't know the wrestlers, so they have the burden of introducing the characters,
right, and getting you invested in them and whatnot.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna because I didn't get a chance to play it. Hopefully, maybe it's like out early access on Steam or something like that.
I feel like there may be a demo floating around.
Yeah. So that would be cool. We'll try to reach out to them and see if we can get more information on it. That was one of the things that we missed that I didn't get a chance to get to. So this episode is going to be a little bit different, right? Because it is super early. It's super early, super late.
No, it's different because we just got out of PAX.
Yes. So this is sort of like a PAX preview episode. We're going to get into every game we saw. We're going to pick some notable games, some highlights, talk about them, and then we're going to get into the top games, the top gaming news of the week, which we have really 3 stories that we're going to talk about.
There was some big news.
We're going to try to do this in one shot, no breaks. So, all right. So let's begin the episode with some of our top games from PAX, right? And let's start with 30XX. Now, when we first went to PAX together, back in 2016, right? I think one of the first, I think we saw this in 2017.
2017 or 2018 was
20XX was the first game, right? Sort of like a Mega Man style game in that same vein, right? In the art style.
So 20XDX reference to the year of the Mega Man games. They were always like sometime in the future, right? That's what like the double X is all about. Which is funny because we're already in the 20XDXs right now, so they could have maybe pushed it a little bit further. But that's what that is in reference to. And yeah, very much Mega Man style games. as a roguelike, right? You could kind of choose different stages to go to, and they'd kind of be like randomly generated with a random boss at the end that could be like one of X amount of bosses. And it was cool. I think we were pretty hype on that game at the time, right?
No, we weren't. I actually bought it because it was out at this point. The game was out, and they were still just trying to promote it and get hype for it.
Yeah.
Right. And but they did change the art style. There was something about them changing the art style.
Well, in 30XDX, it's now more of a pixel art style. Really amazing pixel art style now. Not that 20XDX was bad, but there was some criticism, I think, from the fans because it was a little more like flash animation-y, maybe a little bit. Not that that was a bad thing by any means. Like it looked good, but now it looks even better, I think. Not to mention it now has full-on co-op in the game. There's a level editor, which is amazing. We got to kind of demo some of that stuff out, which I thought was really cool. And it looks great from, I believe, a team of one, right? 30XDX, I believe, is by one guy from Battery Staple Games, right? That's the developer. We got to talk with him for a little bit.
It was one guy. I didn't even know. I didn't realize
I believe
that.
so. Yeah.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe Battery Staple Games is a team of one, and I mean he showed off everything to us, and it looks really cool. I'm definitely super hyped for this.
That was one of our highlights of the show, right there. We got to see a private showing for Fort Solis. Right? Fort Solis. So that game, I thought was surprising that they didn't have. It was only private showings. You had to get an appointment to get to see that game. They didn't have it on the show floor.
Yeah.
They did have the artwork on the show floor, and it was like kind of mysterious because it was like, what's
right?
this game?
It was building some hype.
It was really
game,
tall.
right?
It was like a really a tall thing that they had for it, and it was like, but where is the game? And it's like, you can't see it. So we got to preview that. The best way to describe that game would be Dead Space meets any Telltale game.
Dead Space minus the combat, because I don't think the game has any combat in there.
No. But I'm saying Dead Space meets any Telltale game because it's story driven. But Dead Space,
the narrative stuff. Yeah.
Dead Space in the sense of the aesthetics and
the creepiness of it. For sure. Yeah. Not sure if there's going to be alien, zombies, cryptids, or anything in there, but we.
Is that going to be Alien Isolation? Is that going to be Alien?
Well, it's not going to be a big xenomorph, but there could be. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. I thought it was amazing. Our boy Troy Baker's in it.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was there. He did a panel.
Oh, that's right.
We missed the panel.
We did miss the panel. We did want to meet him. I wanted to get his autograph. I thought that would have been kind of cool. But it's cool. Like they did all the mocap, so it's them doing the motion capture, them doing the voices in the game.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't want to say it was game of the show for me. It could be game of the show.
Well, we'll save that for
next episode,
for our PAX episode where we go dive deep into like all the games that we saw.
Yeah,
right?
but it did look really good. Narrative adventure. Yeah.
So next game we saw Nocturnal. Right, we had the appointments mixed up because I thought we were supposed to see Fort Solis first and then Nocturnal, but we saw Nocturnal first. We both wanted to see Fort Solis, and we sort of said, all right, we'll see Nocturnal because it looks okay, right? But that really caught me. I really liked Nocturnal.
Nocturnal was amazing. It probably one of the prettiest games we saw.
But I just sort of like, the whole setup of the game where you have this like dark cloud that's like a fog that's there, and you have to, you have a sword and you melee. You have to use the sword, set it on fire, and set the torches on fire to keep the fog away from you.
Right.
All right.
You get down in the fog, and you get in there, you're gonna get choked out, and you will die.
Yeah. And you can't defeat the enemies that are in the fog.
Yes.
Unless your sword has the fire.
Yes.
On it. So it's sort of like, and then you have the fire meter at the bottom that's going slowly away. So you have to, make sure you keep checking that, and then you can go slash at a candle to set the sword back on fire to get your meter up, right? So I really thought, and it's sort of like a Metroidvania style too, right? Because you had to go here, unlock that, and go. It's not really power ups, but you had to go
little like puzzles, to get around the different door locks,
to unlock something over here to go over here. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. That could have been maybe my game of the show. I got to think about it. I got to look at all the games, but that's one of the ones I wanted to highlight on the preview episode.
I'm telling you, top three for me too. I think beautiful. I mean, when you take that fire and you cut through the fog, I haven't seen a more beautiful set of animation in a long time.
So, a game that we actually, I think we talked about this before. Like, we wanted to see this game because this was one that the completionist is like really promoting, right?
Yeah,
on this channel.
yeah. Gerard the Completionist is, I believe, a publisher on this game as well.
Yeah. Now, how do you pronounce? Is this Elise? This is
Elsie.
Elsie.
I keep thinking it's Elise too. It's funny. I have a pin from this on my fridge from a couple of years ago.
Okay.
They've been working on this game for a bit.
while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a pin on the fridge. It may be from 2020. It may be from 2020.
You keep mentioning it as like Elsie, right? So you got that in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you keep messing up my head with Elsie. It's the Elise.
No. It is Elsie.
Oh, it's Elsie. No. I think you said Elise.
Yeah,
you kept saying
Elise.
Elise. So
Yeah.
All right. So it's Elsie
Yeah.
from Night Shift Games. Publisher Platonic Games and the Completionist.
And the Completionist. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize this was a roguelike.
Yep. It's a roguelike game.
That seems to be going around. Like everything's like sort of like this genre, like it just keeps popping up.
Most of the games that we played had some
Roguelike.
sort of roguelike element
Yeah.
to it. The levels are procedurally generated, which is cool. Two different characters to play as, I believe, right? I think there's the melee character and the range character. Elsie is the range character, I think, and Andrew is the melee, I believe.
But we didn't get a chance to see the melee part, though.
No, we didn't get the chance to see the other character.
Yeah.
But the part that we did play was really cool. Lots of different movement mechanics in the game, right? You can do air dashes. You can do wall slides. There's like a parrying system in there, which I know is not your favorite thing. But
I'm not a parry guy.
no, I know you're not a parry guy.
I'm not into parry.
But I mean, you didn't necessarily need to do that. There was still a lot of things you could do. And you pick up a lot of power-ups, augments, or what they call them in the game. And some of the power-ups will synergize with other power-ups, which I think is kind of cool. So you pick up one that's like, I don't know, like a fire ability, and then you get one that's like a multi-shot. Now it's like a multi-shot that's fire, which is like kind of cool. That's just like an example. I don't know like exactly the different synergies in there, but there's like over, I think, like 35, 40 different synergies, and they're unique for each character, I think. Like some of those power-ups are unique, which I think is kind of neat. Very, very good game. Yeah.
I love the art style. Like
the art style's good.
Like
yeah.
it just pops. Like it's so colorful, like the way it is. Like more
sure.
so than any other, sort of game with this art style that we've seen all day. Like this one just like really popped. It was like really crisp, crisp. I like the way they did it. Talk about parrying. This game,
yeah,
this game. Everybody's hyped on this game, and I'm hyped too. But it's Strayed Lights is a game that you definitely have to get your parry system on, because that's the only way that you can get health. There are no health drops on this. You have to parry, right? You have to have a perfect parry, and then you can regain your health back on it.
Yep. Now, I got to play this, and I didn't realize that there were the left and right triggers were your attack. So I was parrying the whole entire time, and I did better just parrying because I was waiting for the different monster attacks, right?
Well, they changed, like, what's good, when they change colors, you have to match that color to parry so you can get the power up.
Right. So there's a blue, an orange, and a purple, right? Or blue, red, and purple, I guess, right? And they represent light and dark, and then like the purple is kind of like in the middle. And how that relates to the attacking, right? You got to have the right color to
You got to
match
change it
with
on the fly.
Right. And you'll see like some of the characters, some of the enemies, they'll go like, okay, there's a blue swipe, red swipe, right? And then it's like, okay, it's the color, it's the direction that they come in with, and then sometimes they're purple, which means you have to dodge out of the way. Yeah. Which it was a little wild, but it was good. I mean, I thought it was good.
You did way better when you were parrying.
I know,
because when you knew you could attack, you tried to find openings to attack.
Yeah.
Right, and that left you open, and you're not parrying.
The window is very tight,
Very small
for when you can get in there to attack, and for me it was like it was too much. I can handle one mechanic at a time, but very very high on this game. I think this is also coming out in May, coming out pretty soon.
No, they didn't have an exact release date, but they said it's coming out in the spring.
Yeah,
no, that's what it was. It was coming out in the spring.
Right.
Wow, that's like
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Right. Yeah,
Right?
it's right around the corner.
All right, I want to get into pickups. I know we don't normally do this on the regular show, but I got to talk about my PAX pickups. So I got to put my laptop down. I got to put my laptop down.
I didn't what you got down?
I didn't go crazy this year.
Okay.
There was some retro stuff I had an eye on.
Wait. You didn't go crazy.
I didn't go too crazy.
The average con-goer maybe buys a couple. How many games did you buy?
A few.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and keep it that way. Here we go.
Okay. Well, one, I got, I love my magazines. I love like Nintendo Powers and Game Pros.
I can't mess with them.
I did get this Nintendo Power. This is from May 2006, issue 203 with Mario and Luigi, Jump for Joy on the cover. I saw that, definitely wanted to pick it up. The poster in my Nintendo Powers, all in perfect condition. This this one, actually, the 200th issue, right? This has Resident Evil DS on the cover. Still has the stickers in there.
Nice.
Right? This is great. Paid a little bit more of a heftier price for this one. Right, so we got...
Now, one thing I didn't know. Flip that around on the back. Look at that. What is that?
Well, Nintendo Power had,
Yeah. I had them when
advertisements.
I had them when back they were in the Nintendo Fun Club. I don't remember advertisements being in the Nintendo Power.
Well, they have,
especially not for like a graphic novel such as Bone, which is great. I'm very happy to see it in there, but I don't remember advertising like that. Like the other magazines would do that. Well, most definitely.
I believe maybe not the first 10. Well, not even. I think they had advertisements just for stuff that was in
you're not
on Nintendo consoles.
You're not going to see you're not going to see stuff for other.
You're not going to see a Dreamcast game on Nintendo Power. Nothing like that.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. Well, this was the 200th issue from February 2006. So these two were from the same year. Posters in pristine condition. I did pick up this Game Pro. This Game Pro issue 141. I thought it was cool. This was like an E3 recap from 2000. This was the Dreamcast PS2 era.
I know. Speaking of Dreamcast, on the back is Space Channel 5. Boom. Let's go.
There you
go. So good.
I really wanted to check it out for Street Fighter 3 Double Impact.
Oh my God. Right
there.
Right. Wasn't even Third Strike at that point. It was Double Impact, which was great. It was a great update. Yeah.
So I did pick up one amiibo, Bowser Jr. I've been slowing down on the amiibo, right? I mean, I know I'm missing. I'll never have a complete set. I know I'm missing probably 25 or 30.
Well, some of them they're not reissuing anymore, right? They're just kind of I mean, maybe they will in the future, but
for really Mario Day, they reissued the original Smash Brothers Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Donkey Kong,
the core,
and Princess Peach.
Right.
Yeah, but I already had some of those. I think I just bought. I'm missing Yoshi, the original Yoshi amiibo. I know you had this one.
Yes. Yeah.
This always eluded me. But before it goes too far up in price, I really wanted this one. I really like Bowser Jr.
Nice.
It reminds me of
Bowser,
Super Mario World.
Oh,
the boss battle. He was in the
second greatest game of all time. Well, the big Bowser. Yeah, that's right. He wasn't that little teacup. Yeah.
It is the greatest game of all time. Not the second greatest game, but
greatest Super Mario game that has world in the title.
Yes.
No, I'll give you that.
This is the greatest game that has Mario in it. So while we were at the show, we did see what was the name of that pinball game? That we saw?
Xenotilt.
Xenotilt, which is the second game by these developers, because the first game they made was Demon's Tilt, which Limited Run did put out a physical for. Apparently, they didn't have that many at PAX. Right? They sold out, but we.
Oh, you got a copy. I got a copy.
We both were lucky enough to get a copy, but I got my copy actually signed by the developers. I thought that was really cool.
I forgot my copy, and I don't have mine signed. But that's okay. That's okay. I still got it. Still get to play it.
Funny enough, I went to go get a Sharpie from Walgreens. They didn't really have a big selection. I got like a pen Sharpie, right? And this whole time he had a Sharpie.
I know. He just had one ready to go, right?
Yeah, I know.
That was funny.
That was crazy. I like that. So then I'm not really big into buying new games for retro consoles, but I saw this and I was like, I gotta buy it. This is my first new game for a retro console, and that's Garbage Pail Kids Mad Mike. Take a look at that. It's still sealed because apparently, just like, well, I Am 8-Bit actually put out the physical, at least for this. They also did the Mega Man anniversary collection, right? That collection with like an anniversary edition and Street Fighter anniversary edition.
Well, they did Street Fighter 2 and Mega Man X, I think, were the two Super Nintendo carts.
Yeah, but they always have like a certain amount that have the different color, right?
Yeah, so there's a Chase variant, which I think is the pink one. I think.
Well, yeah, all the carts are blue for the most part, and they have like a pink variant, and they put a limited amount in. So we don't know which one I have. So we're actually going to do an unboxing, put it on YouTube, and put it on Instagram. So check out our social media, check out our YouTube page, and we'll see if I got the pink variant. I'm hoping I do.
I strong pink vibes are coming out of that, Dan. I think you got the variant.
I know. Well, strong pink vibes are coming out because it's
pink on the backside. Yeah. Great game too, by the way. We got to play that a little bit at the show.
So what do we have here? Oh, I want to do this next. So I'm going to go over Grim Guardians Demon Purge. And this was a cool game that we actually played together. This is the Japanese version, but your Switch is region free.
Dan loved it so much he bought it that day. It was the first day of the show, and he's like, "Nah, I got to get this game. It
sold me on it. I mean, I love.
It was really good.
I love platformers, and it's in that style, the same vein. This, I think, is meant to be played with. I mean, I don't.
We were playing co-op.
We were playing co-op. I think you play it by yourself, but I wonder how it is. Because the co-op is cool because you have a different ability and I have a different ability, and we can merge as one.
Yeah. And we become each other's little familiar on the side.
Yeah.
Right? Because we both have different abilities. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't read anything in the back because it's all in Japanese. So
you don't know Japanese, Dan? Come on.
Well, if I did, I would buy the Japanese versions, the most retro games, especially the RPGs, and I wouldn't have to spend an arm and a leg.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is, the Switch is region free, so the game will play, which is great.
Where I'm going to go next? Well, I got Trek to Yomi for the PS5. I got this at Devolver Digital booth. This is a cool game. I love the fact that it's like old samurai, black and white. You're like a shadow, right?
Yes. Yeah, very, very, old school Kurosawa style, black and white.
Side scrolling. It's not just side scrolling, but I did play this on Games Pass. I thought it was cool. I really want to get back into it because you got to get into the parry mechanics. It's like, a samurai game. You have to really get into the parry mechanics.
Of course.
You know how much I love parry. I love parrying.
Well.
So I thought this was cool, and I feel this got some heft to it. So this is definitely a manual or a poster or something.
Yeah.
It's definitely something in here other than just the game. And I love when they do
Devolver does not mess around when it comes to their physical releases.
They don't. And I really like that about them. So I want to open this up and see what we got in there. What else? Oh, so we did hit up Limited Run, of course. We got the Limited Run booth. So a couple of things. I did pick up Quake from Limited Run. Not a big Turok fan. I was thinking about getting Turok and Turok 2. I do own all the Turok games in original hardware, but
things I learned about Dan. It's wild. How do you not like Turok?
I didn't grow up with Turok. Like I was like Quake,
but it's still good.
I was Duke Nukem, Doom.
Yeah,
Quake towards the end for me. and then
Sure.
I sort of tapered off. I wasn't really into
Turok 2 was the pinnacle of the
Turok.
series. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Then we got Dawn of the Monsters. Mm-hmm. Definitely one that I get a suggestion from the guy at the booth, and I was like, oh man, what's good here? What's something, I like platformers, I like fighters, I like a whole bunch of things. Mm-hmm. And he said, I should try this.
Yeah,
so thanks for the recommendation. He also, again, fighters, and we got the Rumblefish 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this because I knew Brian likes fighters. I figured we could play it together.
Yep.
A new fighter that he hasn't played.
It looks and feels like King of Fighters, right? And
It does.
That's definitely a good thing.
So, really weird though. Like, I never heard of Rumblefish.
Neither have I.
So
No.
obviously there was a first one.
Let alone part 2. Yeah, right.
Let alone part 2. I wonder if they have a physical for the first one, or was it like Japanese only? Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
And they said that this was limited to a PAX release. It was a PAX exclusive, and that is the Star Wars: The Force Unleashed Special Edition.
Nice.
I picked that up, and what's cool about it is inside it looks like a VHS tape. Mm-hmm. Looks like an old school VHS tape.
Same size and everything, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, this is just cardboard.
Oh,
I wish
yeah.
it was a real tape.
I know. Well,
Like a VHS tape.
I told them, I was like, it would go over real well if you package them as a real VHS with some like footage on there, even if it's just like, thank you for purchasing our game, and maybe like a trailer for the game or whatever. That'd be amazing, right? And then the game comes on like a disc with a separate slip.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, that would be actually kind of cool.
So in here,
yeah, I'm actually a little jealous you got that.
So in here,
I'm a little jealous.
Here is the game, regular game, and the steelbook case. That's in the VHS, the cardboard VHS tape, not really VHS tape. But I thought it was cool. It was a PAX exclusive, so come on.
Yeah.
I'm at PAX, I had to pick it up. Lastly, a game it's eluded me for a while. I really wanted to add this to the collection. The GameCube version is really expensive. It's like $150, $60, $170.
Oh boy.
Right, in some cases, depending on the condition. The Xbox version is super cheap. Just can't find it anywhere. I guess I wasn't really looking for the Xbox version, to be honest. It's a little bit more affordable, and the PS2 version is in the middle. It's like $60, $70, and that is Samurai Jack: The Shadow of Aku.
Nice.
Right. So I did pick this up, and I paid a fair price for it, and I'll tell you why. Because no manual.
You can always piece it together,
I can always try to piece it
right?
together.
It's a lot cheaper if you can, like, because the case is great.
Yeah,
case is in perfect
pretty good
condition,
condition.
right?
Yeah.
You know, the disc looks good.
This is in good condition, and I like this when you go to like conventions. They show you the actual disc that you're buying, and they actually, is this something that you can live with? It has some scratches on it or anything. And I like the fact that they do that, because I look at it and I say, you know what, I can live with it, or maybe I could try to resurface it, because there are no refunds.
Nope. They don't want you walking away, coming back, and maybe you dropped it or you cracked it or whatever, right? Like, they don't know, So they want to make sure everything good, everything in there.
So didn't realize this, that it was a Sega game.
Oh yeah.
Sega made that game.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. So that's quality. I like this. I finally got it in the collection. All right, Dave. Let's get into the top video game stories. Top gaming news of last week. While we were at the convention, not that many stories,
but significant stories.
Significant stories. We got 3 stories in our docket. We got a new TMNT game that seems to be coming. That's in development, and it's not like the normal TMNT games. It's something totally different, and it's going to be in the vein of the Last Ronin. Which
it's based off the Last Ronin.
Based off the Last Ronin, the novel,
right? In the vein of a
novel,
God of War style revenge epic, I think is
it's a dark
it
and more mature Ninja Turtle game, right? That we've never seen really before in game form, at least, right? You've seen it in obviously the comics, graphic novels, but never in a video game form. Only one turtle has survived. I think it was Leonardo, if I'm not mistaken.
Spoilers for anyone who hasn't led the Last Ronin, which is me.
Well, I mean, you could just look at the artwork and see the guy with the swords.
I mean, you could probably piece some stuff together, right?
Yeah. Well, all the
Last
turtles,
Ronin,
all the turtles, all the other turtles are dead, and Master Splinter's dead, and you're out. You're out looking for revenge, basically. And if you watch the Marvel movies, Hawkeye was sort of like in that last, the Ronin style character, right? When everybody got blimped away, and he had the sword, and he was going killing all the bad guys.
Yeah.
Right? So it's sort of in that vein.
For sure. Yeah.
So this is going to be a AAA single player character title. So you're not going to play as other turtles. I'm sure they probably have flashbacks, right? Maybe to, the relationship with, your brother, the other turtles and Master Splinter. I don't know. I never read the novel. I don't know if April survived.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
Because she's a main part of, the turtle story.
For sure. Yeah. Well, I didn't realize this graphic novel brought back Eastman and Laird, the original writers because I know they stepped away, sold the rights to somebody who was bought up by Nickelodeon, all of that stuff. So those are the guys, right? Those are the ones that created it. So definitely a good story. And apparently the internet's going wild for this. Everybody wants The Last Ronin. And they're like, yes.
Well, listen, when you compare that you're going to do something in the style of God of War, right? And it's a single player focus driven. Because think about the Ninja Turtle games that we got before, right? Like, there was a crappy one that came out.
There's a lot of crappy ones.
There's a lot of crappy ones that came out, but it was like this. Remember the crappy one that came out on Xbox One and the PS4?
The Battle Nexus?
Yeah,
maybe?
Who made that? Was it Platinum? I think Platinum put that out.
Yeah.
Right, and that was pretty terrible. And you're controlling one turtle and all the other turtles are following you, right? Like that. That was just.
There's a bad brawler on the Wii. I remember that. There's a lot of kind of not great ones, but we're having a renaissance now. We're having a turtle renaissance.
Oh yeah, we got Shredder's Revenge.
Yep.
Right. We got the Turtle Collection of the original turtle games for the NES.
Yep.
Super Nintendo
And Genesis,
and arcade. Right. So we get an turtle renaissance. You're right. So I think this is going to be cool. It's a single player game, and I can't wait.
Oh yeah.
Until it comes out. I just hopefully it's good.
I think it's going to be good. Yeah.
Well, also while we were at the convention, there's a big news drop that Valve announced Counter-Strike 2. Right? We haven't had. When did the original Counter-Strike come out?
Well, started off as a mod for Half-Life 1, I think, which Half-Life 1 was 98. I think Counter-Strike was 99, 2000 maybe. And then it kind of became its own thing. It used to be a mod, then it was a full-fledged game. Then they made Counter-Strike Source based on the Half-Life 2 Source engine. And now they're Counter-Strike 2 with all the latest tech. All right, so they're updating, I think they're updating all the stuff from the original game, updating those maps, Dust 2 and everything else, giving them a fresh coat of paint, some new visuals.
Well, Counter-Strike 2 is going to be based on Valve's Source 2 engine.
Source 2 engine, okay.
Right? Yeah. And they're going to include updates on the core game mechanics, including improving the smoke grenades and sub-tick updates. They're going to revamp the maps and just overall. They're going to overhaul all the maps. So I thought this is a good look. I mean, people have been asking for. Well, we've been asking for Half-Life 3.
I know. Yeah, Half-Life 3 when?
Right. You get all these teasers of Half-Life 3. And you get this is what the story would have been. This is what we were working on.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You get Half-Life Alyx, which was a prequel.
Right. Which. They're not calling Half-Life 3, but it's so weird.
Half-Life 1.5.
Half-Life 1.5. Well, I mean, I get 2.5. I think maybe it's a 2.5. I mean, Half-Life 2 Episode 2 was the latest in the chronological storyline, which they were supposed to do more. I don't know. I don't think they're ever going to get to it. I don't think we're ever going to see Half-Life 3.
I think we will.
Yeah?
Yeah. They're going to shock us at some point.
I mean, maybe.
They're going to do something.
Given a long enough timeline, Half-Life 3 will come out.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be what people expect, but I think they will clamor for it anyway just because it has the 3 on it.
Well, I mean, Christ, the level of hype is Duke Nukem Forever levels.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't know
it
about that.
100% is,
I
Dan.
don't know about that.
That is the most anticipated game that is never going to come out. Everyone keeps saying, when are we getting a new Half-Life? Everybody wants it. And it's not going to live up to anyone's
The Last Guardian.
expectations.
What was it? What was that Sony game?
The Last Guardian was like 7, 8 years. Supposed to come out on the PS3, came out on the PS4, and it was okay.
Yeah, but that was like a joke, right? It's still in development, and everybody was clamoring
Oh,
for it.
for
Everybody
sure.
wanted it. Come on,
For sure. And it went away, and then it came back. Yeah.
I mean, and now we have the Ubisoft game. That's the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Skull and Bones, right?
No, not Skull and Bones. What was it came out on the PS2, Xbox, original Xbox. No, it came out PS2 and the GameCube. Beyond Good and Evil.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. We saw a trailer a couple of years ago.
They said it's not canceled.
No. I feel like that game will come out.
I mean, the creator of it retired. He left.
I know.
He was so happy that the trailer for Part 2 was going to come out, and then
he's like, nope, I'm out. Yeah, it was weird.
All right, so that's one more story, and then that's it. And this story I thought was kind of hilarious because it came out of left field, and that's another big acquisition in the gaming industry, but not what you think. It is not Microsoft, it's not Sony, it's not even Nintendo, it's not even Sega.
No.
It's Atari, blast from the past. Apparently Atari has bought Nightdive Studios for $10 million. Now, if you don't know Nightdive Studios, it's more of a port studio, right? They port games like System Shock, Doom 64, and like Quake, just to name a few. Right? They do a damn good job.
Oh, yeah.
I guess my question is 2 things. One, you have 2 Atari companies. Right? Which Atari company actually did the purchase, and why would they do this?
Oh, well, I mean, it's easy. I'll tell you why, because Nightdive Studio is fantastic.
But what would they want them to port? Or they would just keep them doing what they're doing now, like porting like...
I don't know if Atari has anything in the past that they're like looking to do. I think
we need a new Centipede game.
we need Centipede on the Kex engine, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
In full 3D with like ray trace lighting and all that.
In 4K.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything in the Atari back catalog that they're like, we should totally port this game forward, but they are a very profitable studio. They do amazing work. I don't know. Well, I think you know the Modern Vintage Gamer.
Yes.
On YouTube. He used to work for Nightdive and Limited Run, I think, and I think he said he was just like way too tired and like was putting in too many hours. So he's like, I have to pick and choose. I have to pick and choose one. And he ended up going with Limited Run, so he's not with them anymore. But he did amazing work, and he helped build out the engine. Man is a genius at programming. Very good. So he helped kind of define the level of quality for the studio, right? And I mean, obviously it's not there anymore, but they have a good pedigree. They still have a great team. There's a lot there. $10 million for that studio. I think that's a good price. I think that's a good price.
But that's not Atari Games. Like Atari Games didn't buy them. I think it's like because it's 2 different things. You got Atari Games that owns a lot of the catalog from the Atari, and then you have like Atari, just like the regular Atari that owns the logo. They
own the branding.
They own the branding. They own the build of the original, Atari VCS.
I think they're the ones that put out the VCS. So they are the company, not Atari Games, which you'll know because it has to say Atari Games on there, apparently. Like whenever they have branding, it needs to say Atari Games to prevent confusion. Even though it's very confusing, we're mildly confused about it right now. But I think you're right. I think it is Atari, that company, that bought them.
So this is what I want because this is so confusing. You know what? Microsoft, just go in, just do one more, just buy both Ataris and unite them as one.
Well, they'd also have Nightdive Studios.
And then you could port all those old school games.
All right. It would be the final piece in the Thanos glove.
All right, that's it, Dave. That's it for the news. We're both exhausted. tired. It was a great PAX 2023. Right? It was good to be back. It was good to be back, man.
Definitely good to be back. All right, getting the old band back together.
Get the old band. Hopefully next year,
Yeah,
we can have a crew.
that's right.
Everybody will come back.
We're gonna be rolling deep at PAX East 2024, for sure. Well, that is episode 352 in the books, folks, and we want to thank you guys for listening to the show, for liking, commenting, and doing all the good stuff that you guys do. If you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Rated G for Gamers. So please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
Keep gaming.